Hello again and welcome to another episode of I Want to Talk About This Album. And today I'm going back to Slayer. My producers recently informed me that the last Slayer episode that I did was all the way back on October 15th, 2024. So they said, you gotta get back into Slayer. It's what the people want. So that's what I'm doing today, and that's why I'm doing this today. This is Slayer. Seasons in the Abyss. Also, I'm kind of getting in a little bit of Slayer mode. I'm still holding on dearly to Black Sabbath mode. And I think the Rat mode is over. Who mode? It's kind of still ongoing. But my newest obsession, mini at this point, is Slayer. Because of their recent appearance. I talked about this some time ago, weeks ago, at the big Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning concert. And Slayer performed there. I talked about that in that video. And that's kind of, not that I need a reminder of how much I need Slayer, but I kind of wanted to get this out of my system a little bit. So this is I think the how many Slayer episodes have I done? They're one that I've done in order. I did Show No Mercy, Hell Awaits, Rain and Blood, South of Heaven, and now Seasons in the Abyss. I keep wanting to say Seasoning the Obese, or Seasons in the Obese, the SOD song, kind of like at least the title was a parody of the album title of Seasons in the Abyss. So this is Seasons in the Abyss. I will have one more Slayer episode. That could be in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, 6 months, could be a year, I don't know. But, so it is going to be Seasons in the Abyss today, and for me this is the last. It sounds bad to say, I'm a massive Slayer fan. One of my very favorite bands, maybe probably top 5 favorite bands ever. That can fluctuate. And I really love Slayer, getting them in 1984. For me, this is their last truly classic album for me. They had some great individual songs on records that followed Seasons in the Abyss. And some of those albums I really liked as albums, but This to me was the last one that really captured everything that I loved about Slayer. I think a lot of people would say that too. Maybe it's a lineup thing. It was the last one with the original lineup for until 2009, World Painted Blood. And yeah, I do love it. I love Seasons in the Abyss. There are a few, I hadn't listened to the full album, I think in many years. There were a couple of surprises on here. A couple of songs that I didn't quite like as much as I remember them. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. When I listened to them today, I was listening to these albums twice before I do the episodes. When I listened to them, I realized I knew the songs and I recognized them right away, but I realized that I don't know the lyrics as much as I did for like the other 7 or 8 songs that I know, pretty much stone cold. So as for this record, I did, or this record/tour cycle. I did see this tour, as many people did, on the Clash of the Titans tour in the summer of 1991 in Toronto at not Exhibition Stadium, what was that called? CNE Grandstand. And that was, it was Slayer, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Alice in Chains. The 3 bands, Slayer, Anthrax, and Megadeth, were kind of rotating the headlining spot. When I saw them in Toronto, Slayer did headline. Alice in Chains opened every show. When I saw them on that tour, I think it was in August 91, it was Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer. And Slayer was fucking awesome, as they always were. This was, I think, the 3rd or 4th time I had seen them. First one was March 31st, 1985. So at this point, I'd been a Slayer fan for over 5 years. They were really good. It was really cool seeing Slayer play in front of such a big crowd. CNE Grandstand. There's 2 things. There was the baseball stadium where the Toronto Blue Jays used to play. The big full stadium was called Exhibition Stadium, but then most concerts were at what they called the CNE Grandstand, which was kind of like, not the half stadium, but anyway, so I was getting a little bit confused. But it was really cool seeing Slayer. I don't know how many people were at that show. I would guess 10,000, maybe more. It was a big place. I saw Ozzy there a couple times. I saw Metallica there, Aerosmith a couple of times, Neil Young, Pearl Jam. I saw Scorpions there. It was a big place. And at that point, I had seen Slayer. The previous time I saw them was on the South of Heaven tour, which was at the concert hall, which holds about 2,000 people. So to see Slayer in such a big place was really cool. I liked it a lot. And they were on fire. They were so great that night. The crowd loved that. I went with my friend Pete, who was not a Slayer fan. He liked Anthrax and Megadeth at that time, and I think Alice in Chains. He never liked Slayer. My good friend at that time, best friend Pete, and he really liked Slayer. Slayer won him over. All right. So, and I will show it. I forgot to show it. Now I've got 2 copies here. I've got this little one. This is a CD. Stands for compact disc. A lot of people don't know that. Compact disc. And I've got the record there. And sometimes I do this when I do have the CD. And I took this out today. Like I said, I hadn't listened to it for years and years. And I've talked about this before. I used to almost always write the date on CDs and albums when I bought them. And I did with this one. I bought this one on, if you can see, October 26th, 1990 was when I bought Seasons in the Abyss. And I think this is, you know what, I'm just realizing this is, I think, a little bit, is this a little bit different? Yeah, it is. All right. So I'm only realizing this now. So here on the booklet fold out, you've got Slayer. It's these 3 crosses with the Slayer logo there in the middle. Now on the back of this record, so there's the front, there's the back. They very cleverly inverted the crosses. They should be like that. But they're evil and scary like that because they're Slayer. They do have the song titles correct. Yeah, so they did invert the cross there. I just realized that as I opened it up. All right. So yeah, here's the CD. The CD has these 4 pictures of the individual guys. This is Jeff Hanneman. Sorry, this is Tom Araya. Jeff Hanneman, Kerry King, Dave Lombardo down here. Let me put that there. In the record, the pictures don't exist. It looks like this. There's just that picture of them as a group. And there's the lyrics. And there's the record. It's just plain old black vinyl. There you go. The what's it called? Deaf American? Yeah, Deaf American label it was on. Yeah, this is a really, really good album. Some classic Slayer songs that remained in their set list, as far as I know, for pretty much every tour. Still on their most recent tours or shows. And, you know, Slayer's kind of somewhat back together again. I talked about this when I talked about Slayer at the Back to the Beginning, the Black Sabbath concert. I think this, whatever you want to call it now, reunion, mini reunion, I think there's more to come and bigger things to come from that. I think there's too much at stake for them to just cast aside Slayer. It seems that for the time being now, Kerry King has cast aside his solo band and Slayer is touring now. So I expect, I don't think they're going to do a new album. They've sworn they won't do a new album. Kerry King has, but we'll see. I don't think so. But I didn't think they'd get back together to do shows either. All right. So I will go through it now, track by track. And the first track is, and I wish I could do this the way Tom Araya says, you know, it's War Ensemble. But when Tom Araya introduces that song live, he kind of takes a deep breath and he leans back and he screams the words War Ensemble in that Tom Araya voice. And it's the greatest thing you'll ever hear. I love that introduction. And it's an amazing song. I don't know if Slayer has ever done a show since this album came out in 1990. I don't know if they've ever done a full show anyway, and not done War Ensemble. It's a Slayer classic, as well it should be. And I was trying to think today which was the first Slayer video that they did. They were kind of like Metallica. They were late to the video games. They didn't do any videos for Show No Mercy, Rain and Blood, South of Heaven, but they finally did on Seasons in the Abyss. And I can't remember if War Ensemble was the first video from this record, or if it was the title track, Seasons in the Abyss. I feel like I remember like it was War Ensemble was the first one, but then the other half of me thinks, no, Seasons in the Abyss was the first video. In any case, there was a video for War Ensemble, which was great to see, and it was a live video, I think I want to say it was in London, I'm not sure, it was in black and white. And oh my God, War Ensemble is just an amazing, amazing song. Similar to Angel of Death, only in that it's the first song. It's a pretty long song. I think it's 4 half, maybe over 5 minutes. War Ensemble. There's no running time on here. Let's say it's around 5 minutes, which Angel of Death is also right around there, and it's fast. It's pummeling through the whole thing. It's got that great. War Ensemble has that great middle section. I don't know if it's a bridge or something. You all know the part if you know this record and know the song. And then he screams again. War. The sport. How the lyrics? Propaganda. Death Ensemble. Burial to be. Corpse rotting through the night in blood-laced misery. I'm mixing the first and second verses up. It's very important. Scorched earth, the policy, the reason for the siege. The pendulum, it shaves the blade, strafing the air raid, something like that. Infiltration, push reserve, encircle the front line. Supreme art of strategy, preying on the mind. Bombard till submission, take all to their graves. Indication of triumph. The numbers that are dead. Sport the war, war support. The sport is war, total war. When victory is really massacre, the final swing is not a drill. It's how many people I can kill. Oh man, I love War Ensemble. What a great song that is. Next is Blood Red. This is also a great song. And I noticed when I listened to this today, I like the first side way better than the second side. Those songs I mentioned earlier that I wasn't into as much as I remembered, those 2 or 3, I think 2 are all on the second side. Blood Red is also fantastic. Peaceful confrontation meets war machine. Fighting all civil liberties. Honest validation among banshee. Spilling blood on humanity. You cannot hide the face of death. Oppression ruled by bloodshed. No disguise can deface evil. The massacre of innocent people, I think, is what it is. Yeah, that's Blood Red, and it's a great song. Something else that I kind of remembered immediately when I listened to this record today, and I knew it all along, the gap between songs on this is there's almost nothing. It's pretty much when one song ends, the next song begins instantly, not even like half a second gap. I don't know if that was, I assume that was intentional, maybe to just create a feeling more of intensity or something, I'm not sure. But almost no gap whatsoever. Next is Spirit in Black. Oh my God, Spirit in Black is so great. It's I think it's a great riff. Dun, dun, dun. No, I can't sing it. I'm not going to sing it. But I think this is one of the ones that nobody really talks about as being a great Slayer riff. Spirit in Black, everybody focuses on, the big ones, I guess, especially from the earlier albums. But the riff in Spirit in Black is amazing, and it's kind of it's not a thrashy song, at least not in the beginning. But then maybe halfway through, there's kind of like a big shift to thrash, and there's an amazing riff that segues from the kind of like the double time part of the song, the main part, to the thrash part of the song. Oh, Spirit in Black is fantastic. Welcome to my world. Involve yourself within my dream. Experience the life your mind thought not to be. Take a look through time at past, the present worlds to be. I rule this infernal pit, I think it is, for all eternity. Coils of the serpent unwind. Buried. Yeah, it is. Buried beneath you will find. Deep in the halls of the damned. Spirit in Black till the end. I think that's what it is. It says Spirit in Black till Journey's End. I don't think so. I think it's just Spirit in Black till the end. Anyway, yeah, Spirit in Black is an amazing song. I don't know if they ever, I guess they did do it live. Was it on Decade of Decadence? I can't remember. But it wasn't like one of these staples, I think, that Slayer kept in their set for so long. But I love Spirit in Black. Next is Expendable Youth. Great song too. The first side of this record is just amazing. Expendable Youth. Kind of a more mid-tempo song. I think the song would have fit well on South of Heaven. Does this get fast and thrashy, Expendable Youth? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. It's kind of like mid-pace, mid-tempo the whole time, which I think some Slayer fans don't like. I love it. I think Expendable Youth is fantastic. Gun Down Cold. I feel the need to recite the lyrics. Gun Down Cold on a raw deal. Home turf, my battlefield. Home turf, my battlefield. In no one's way, caught in a crossfire. Stray bullets can kill. Expendable youth, fighting for possession, having control, the principal obsession, rivalry and retribution, death, the only solution. Great song, Expendable Youth. Next is Dead Skin Mask, one of my favorite Slayer songs. I have no idea what my top 5 or 10 or whatever Slayer songs are, but if I were to, it might be all of Rain and Blood, which is, one of my top 2 or 3 albums ever, and I can't even pick a favorite from that record. So aside from Rain and Blood, Dead Skin Mask is one of my favorites. And this is kind of a slow, this to me has a little bit of a South of Heaven, the song, the title track from the album South of Heaven. It has kind of that same feel to it. It is slow by Slayer standards, and it's maybe it's kind of eerie, not creepy. Everybody says creepy. I don't like that. It has a real kind of sinister vibe to it. It's about Ed Gein. If you don't know who Ed Gein is, The Silence of the Lambs, the movie featuring the late great Hannibal Lecter, that came out in '91. That was based on Ed Gein. This song is based on Ed Gein. And at this time, I used to read a lot of books about, I used to read a lot of true crime books. And I read, I think it was after this album came out. And I heard Dead Skin Mask. I wanted to learn about Ed Gein, so I bought a book about him. I've bought quite a few Charles Manson books. The big ones. What are the big 4 serial killers? John Wayne Gacy, Charles Manson, although technically he didn't kill anybody, so they say. Who else is there? Menendez brothers? Nah, they were more like a tag team. Who else were the big killers? Ed Gein, I guess he was one of them. Anyway, yeah, but Dead Skin Mask, it's just got this great, the riff, the lyrics, the overall tone of it, the intro, spoken word intro. It's Tom Araya, and how does it go? I've been here all along. I've been waiting for you to come. What does he say? Oh, it doesn't list the lyrics of the spoken word part. It just begins with the singing part. What's the spoken word introduction? I've been here all along. I've been waiting for you to come. Now that I've got you here, I won't keep you long. I'll keep you forever. And I used to love, and I still love, I guess, the way that Tom Araya sang that line live. On this one, he just kind of speaks it. Now that you've arrived, I won't keep you long. I'll keep you forever. But when they played it live, I'll keep you forever. And he screamed forever. Nobody could sing this. Tom Araya was meant to sing Dead Skin Mask. Graze the skin with my fingertips. The brush of death, cold flesh. Appeases the means. Pacifies the means. Provocative images, delicate features so smooth. A pleasant fragrance in the light of the moon. Dance with the dead in my dreams. Listen to their hallowed screams. Listen to their hallowed screams. The dead have taken my soul. Temptations lost all control. Simple smiles elude psychotic eyes. Lose all mind control. Rational decline. Lose all mind control. Rational decline. Empty eyes enslave the creation of placid faces and lifeless pageants. Dance with the dead in my dream. And then it's got the great outro too in the while Tom Araya is singing that. And Slayer never really had true choruses, but during that kind of, I don't know if you would call it refrain, dance with the dead in my dreams, listen to their hallowed screams, as he's singing that part, there's a voice which I'm sure was never credited. I don't know if it's Tom Araya's voice just kind of sped up or if there's some kind of effect on it. It sounds like a young girl. And she's kind of speaking under the music. Let me out of here, Mr. Gein. I'm not having fun anymore. I want to get out of here, Mr. Gein. Let me out now. Just very, very appropriate to the tone of the song. Dead Skin Mask, amazing. One of the, for me, very top Slayer songs. So that's the end of side 1. Side 2 starts with Hallowed Point. I like this one. Slayer songs, always side 2 is a fast one. Ghost of War on the previous album was the first song on side 2 on South of Heaven. All Slayer songs were fast. Hallowed Point, which was instinctive regression with an instinctive, it's hard to say it because I want to just scream it out. Instinctive regression with intent to kill. No regard for human life or the blood spill. Very, very fast and thrashy throughout. Hollow Point is excellent. Next is Skeletons of Society. This is one that I mentioned that I never really liked it. I liked it at the time. It was, I think, always my least favorite. And I think I realized when I was listening to it today, it's probably not just my least favorite on Seasons in the Abyss. It's probably my least favorite Slayer song up to this point from their first, this is their 5th album, I think. Probably my least favorite Slayer song, and it's okay. It doesn't suck, but I just think it's so inappropriately Slayer. It starts with that, the kind of the drums pounding, and it almost sounds like it's going to be an anthemic kind of song. It's just very, very unfitting for Slayer. Seems like a song that, and I don't know who wrote it. I don't know if it was Kerry King or Jeff Hanneman or I think at this point, I think Tom Araya didn't write any music for this this record. Who wrote Skeletons of Society? Oh, music and lyrics, Kerry King. That's funny because I feel like this is a song. Kerry King has shit on South of Heaven multiple times over the years. He says he doesn't like it. There's some songs on there. He says they just don't sound like Slayer songs. He says they're kind of happy. I think Cleanse the Soul he didn't like. And I feel like this is a song, Skeletons of Society. I feel like this is one that Kerry King wouldn't like. I don't know if they've ever played it live. Skeletons of Society, fragments of, what is the lyric? Fragments of Society, no, fragments of what used to be Skeletons of Society. Yeah, it's just not the best song. It's just too, like I said, it sounds almost like it's going to be an anthemic kind of song. Shades of Death Are All I See, fragments of what used to be. Yeah, all right. Next is Temptation. Now we're going back to songs that I love. This is an amazing song. Temptation is great. I love the double vocals of Tom Araya. He kind of sings at once, kind of quietly, similar to Blackened by Metallica in the, opposition, contradiction. Was it that? Yeah, the lyrics or the vocals are kind of repeated. Temptation is kind of like that. I think the story was something like Tom Araya wanted, I don't know who wrote Temptation. I think maybe that was, that was also music and lyrics by Kerry King again. Much, much better than his previous effort, which was Skeletons of Society. And I think they said something like Kerry King, because it was his song, he imagined the vocals were going to go like this, and Tom Araya thought they should go like this. So I think he sang it both ways. He sang it Kerry King's way and his way, and I guess they maybe couldn't decide which one they liked best, so they kind of merged them together. Something like that. Temptation is great. Have you ever felt the need? Have you ever felt it? It's hard to this one is even more because they're singing it twice. Have you ever felt the need to see more than you can see? Look into uncertainty, reflections of treachery, recreate the rules of play. From now things will be done my way. Something like that. Anyway, yeah, Temptation is great. Next is two more. Born of Fire. This is the other one that I don't love this one, and let's see who wrote that one, just out of curiosity. Born of Fire is music, Kerry King again. Lyrics, music is King Hanneman. Lyrics are King. Yeah, Born of Fire was one. It's pure thrash, unlike some of the other ones. But yeah, Born of Fire, never got into that one too much. I like it better than Skeletons of Society for sure. And can I remember any of the lyrics to Born of Fire? Yeah, you know what? Reading the lyrics, I mean, I remember it, but joining my quest. Yeah, this one's really, really fast. Yeah, unleash. Even reading the lyrics, I can't remember. Unleash all my burning wrath, potential killing machine. I can't read this. It's so small. Oh, take down all who block my path. Enjoying all that's obscene, Born of Fire. Yeah, I don't really like that song. And then the last song is the title track, Seasons in the Abyss. And this is another, for me, and I think for Slayer too, this is another one that's a classic. I think they always do it, at least at their full shows. This is one of the few Slayer songs that kind of has a melody to it. I think maybe the only other one that I can think of off the top of my head, at least to this point, and maybe beyond too, that had kind of a melody where you could like kind of, you know, you can't whistle or hum Angel of Death or really any Slayer songs, but you can with Black Magic from Show No Mercy. And I Seasons in the Abyss also has kind of a melody to it. Seasons in the Abyss is maybe their most not experimental. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not typically Slayer because it is melodic and it's not fast. There's no fast parts to it, but I love it. It's one of my, maybe again in my top 10 Slayer songs if I were to make such a list. I think Seasons in the Abyss might be on there. Fantastic song. And that's it. That's all for Seasons in the Abyss. It's a very good, some of the best Slayer songs ever on this, but a couple, as I said, that maybe bring it down a little bit. But still, I consider it a classic album. And I think this was Larry Carroll who did that painting, the same guy who did Rain and Blood, and later he did Christ Illusion. But I think it's the same guy. It looks like it, no? It looks like that same kind of style. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. Thank you for watching. More to come. This has been Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss.